Hi everybody, Erin here again today, and I want to guide you through a fun, quick way to make a little teacher appreciation gift. It's the end of the year for us in our school year, and my kids have 4 teachers that we need to give stuff to. And so, with lots of kids, it ends up costing a lot of money. So I would personally, and for when I used to teach, I taught for 7 years, the gifts that I loved, the ones that were handmade from people. So that's what I like to give back to my teachers. This year, we're going for candy. And all I do is I save my jars. I save all my jars, I clean them up, and these have been through the dishwasher, soaked in water, and then I peeled all the labels off. Once you soak them in water for a while, it's really easy just to rub them off. And I just really made sure that everything was nice and clean and back in sanitary conditions before I put the candy in there. I put Nerds and I put Nerds and I put Smarties. Here in the States, these are Smarties. I'm from Canada. Smarties are more like M&Ms. So I would much prefer the M&M version or the real Smartie version, but it's what you get here. So what I wrote on here is I said, thanks for being a nerd with me and making me such a Smartie. So I thought it'd be kind of fun. I was trying to figure out a way to put a dum-dum in there. Thanks for getting me from a dum-dum to a Smartie, but my kids aren't dum-dums, so I really didn't want to kind of insinuate that, they were dum-dums. So I went with Nerds and Smarties. All right, so first thing, like I said, is you want to clean your jar off. Make sure it's all completely clean and sterile and sanitary. Do not forget to clean your lids as well. So I think this was an old, this jar, I think it had salsa in it. So you also, say hi, it's my little daughter, she's right here. So some of the gifts are gonna go to her teachers. She has 2 teachers in her preschool, so she's gonna give a couple of these. Yep, she's saying hi. And then my sons have their teachers in elementary school, so they're gonna give 1 to each. And I think we're gonna do something special for all the, she's saying hi again, like the music and the PE teacher and stuff like that, but we're gonna get there. First step, we need to cover it. So I'm gonna leave this one here so you can kind of get a clue about where we're going. So we're gonna cover the lid. And I have this little handy dandy little cutter. This is a Creations cutter. And it's really simple. You need to make sure that you have a cutting mat underneath. And this is, look at that, this is an old Creative Memories one. Look at that, how ancient is that? Make sure you have enough space, so just do a ballpark with your circle on your space. What I do is I take my lid and I put the pointer part in the center here, and then I just make sure it has the right fit. It looks like it does. This is half the circle. So you're doing the radius, not the diameter. And you just want to run it around. And here's the thing, you want to run the paper. Notice this is not moving, it's the paper that moves. And you just want to run your paper all the way through. Make sure nothing gets caught as you're running it around. And look at that. Fast and easy little circle. Sometimes the last gets caught. There we go. And there it is, super simple circles. Now for all my circles that I cut, and I have a few extras that are cut for the other, because I'm making 4 total. Here's the other jars, I haven't done them yet. I wanted to include a bit of orange because I put orange on the ribbon, and so I didn't want it to be weird and all of a sudden, why is there orange? Well, that's the reason why. So next step, because this is what I do, I ink everything. It just finishes it. It takes away that white edge that's right there and just completes it. And this paper, this is a Kaisercraft paper. This is another sheet that I have that's the Kaisercraft, sorry. This is the Offshore collection. So this is just one of the sheets and I don't know the name of it, but it's the Offshore collection. And I loved it because when teachers want to get off for the summer, they're thinking the pool and the beach and, lakes. And so this just reminded me of just something fun and bright and cheery. So that's what I went with. With the Offshore collection, it also came with little tags. So since I'm kind of into cutting and tagging, these are just small tags. And I only had 3 that were tag shaped, but I did cut out 1 little circle, and I'll have to write really tiny on that one for that, so I can get my little phrase across. And all I did on the front side of the tag is I wrote out the phrase, thanks for being a nerd with me and making me a Smartie. And then on the back side of the tag, I'm gonna show you, I wrote from the Reed family. And the reason why I write from the Reed family versus individual kids is what happens if for any reason one kid grabs the wrong jar and takes it to school. My son Morgan didn't accidentally give Brandon's gift to the teacher. They're kind of already just labeled from the Reed family, and it just simplifies matters. Or if I grab the wrong one or I give the wrong one to the kid, You know, it just makes life easy. So I'm just doing a little fussy cut on this, really super simple. And I love my little hinge scissors because it makes doing cuts like that. I'm not too happy with that little corner there, so I'm just going to round it off a little bit. There you go, a little better. They don't have to be perfect. You move these guys off the side and get next step, hole punch it so you can put your little ribbon through. So just find where a good spot is to hole punch in the center of, so I'm gonna go with there. It looks like a good spot to me. Now I'm gonna take my vegan 3-in-1 glue. It's my all-purpose, whatever, glue. Put a little bit on the lid cover. I always reconnect my glue so I don't have to worry about that. Add that to my lid just to give it a little bit of a decor so it doesn't look so plain. Could you get away with not putting something on the lid? Yes. You don't have to go super fancy with this. This is super, super simple. Oops. It will dry and not move. And I am not worried about seeing, there's my daughter again, seeing the edges. I just want to make sure this is all gets stuck down. I love using jars just because instead of it ending up in a landfill, it ends up, you know, and it just repurposes, you know, reuse, reuse, and recycle. Well, I'm in the reuse phase. All right, I just went in my ribbon container and I liked the orange feel. There seems to be a lot of blue and there's a ton of colors in the candy, so I didn't want to overdo too much. I dumped 3 of these packages of Nerds and about 100 little things like this, and I just opened it up and dumped it in. I made sure I washed my hands really, really well before I was messing with everything. And then as I was unrolling, I really didn't even touch the candy. I mixed it all up, and this is one of my food containers, so obviously food is fine. And then just careful pouring them in. And I'm not gonna have enough. I'm gonna go have to buy more Smarties and Nerds because I am short, if you can tell. And it looks like this one got a whole bunch more Smarties and Nerds, and I'm not too worried. As long as they get filled up, I'm cool with that. So the next step is I'm gonna write on here the same phrase. And I'm just using a calligraphy pen. This one's a Marby one, and I use the fine tip. And here's a quick trick. So whenever you're doing any kind of calligraphy pen, this is I learned this trick a long time ago. If you are right-handed, okay, just draw a regular square. Put a line through the square so you have an angle. Put your tip, see how there's that chisel tip? There's kind of like a fat and a skinny end. So put the tip of the chisel on that line, and that's how you're gonna hold the pen. Because if you hold the pen funny, you don't get the look of, you could get a skinny line. When you put it on the edge, you get the look of, I like writing my name, of the calligraphy pen. If you don't, you end up getting, see how it looks weird? And you can end up hurting the chisel tip and it doesn't work really well. If you are left-handed, you draw your line the other way, so you're not left-handed, and you line your chisel tip up in your left hand against that line. So that's how the correct way to use these pens. I did not know that until I was taught that. And so I've just gotten kind of used to now. I don't have to use my square, but you know, it's good practice just to get the feel for where to line up your, and these are not true calligraphy pens. These are what I would call your calligraphy pens for dummies, because I can't draw nice, but when I write in this, it makes it look a whole lot better. So I can't talk and write at the same time. My brain just does not want to function. So thanks for being a nerd with me and making me a Smartie. You can come up with all kinds of other things. If you just wanted to do Smarties, you could just do thanks for making me a Smartie, or thanks for, you know, however you want to do it. So, and then I always have the whole idea, do I want to do love or from? And some people might get kind of freaked out with the love from whatever. So from the Reed family. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my string. It's just a ribbon, and it's just a really easy, quickie ribbon. You can, because there's enough colors in here, you could do dark blue, you could do light blue, you could do the brown, you could pick another fun color from the Nerds, the Smarties. I just like the idea of going with the colors of the papers. You know what? This is going to have a hard time because it's so long. These ones are gonna fit just fine. I'm gonna have to use the little one on this one. I didn't think about that ahead of time, so let's see how well I can fit the phrase on a tiny little circle. Hey, look, I did it. Woohoo, tiny writing at its best. And I should have started further down because I still gotta put my hole in. And because that'll look really stupid upside down. Well, I thought that through. Not. I should have put the hole here and started writing and gone down.
Yeah.
I know, that was kind of silly, wasn't it? It's okay, it'll work. It will work. We're gonna make it work. And then I'm going to, I didn't do it on this one, but I'm gonna tie a first knot, just a simple loop, and put this in. Yeah, it's as simple as that. You just gotta put this in. And then I'm gonna tie my second knot. We're gonna put the lid on in a minute, yeah. But this is the lid that goes there. That goes to one of these guys, honey. She's all excited. She keeps asking me for more and more candy. Whoops, and you gotta make sure this doesn't pop off. So one thing you can do, and I'm gonna do that right now, is I'm gonna put this lid on first. Can you do me a favor, honey?
Yeah.
Can you put your finger right there?
Right.
No, hold it, no, on the ribbon. Right there. Good job. Don't move. Don't move, don't move. See, it's kind of handy having, look at, thank you, let go. Let go. Look, see, she helps. I love having my little girl right here with me. It's awesome. Yeah, isn't that fun? All right, so tie your little ribbon. I may have done this a little too short. That's okay. We'll make it work. Look at that, we're making it work. You know, and normally I would probably put a dab of glue on the ribbon to make sure it didn't come off, but I want them to be able to take this off if they want to. And here is our cute little treat. And you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to write who this is from. So I did that for this one too. You flip it over and you write on the back while it's upside down. Hang on, honey. Okay, hang on, honey. And there it is. So I've got 2 down. I know I can easily get with all my candy. I can probably get 1 more jar filled. And I could have gone with smaller jars, but again, I'm recycling my jars, so that's where I'm going for. So thanks for stopping by. I will show you some pictures of the done effect when they're all finished with all the lovely candy and cute little gifts for our teachers this year. Please subscribe and I will talk to you again soon. Thanks, bye-bye.